Hello everyone, welcome back to our virtual Mishnah Berurah share. We're holding in Mishnah Berurah Chelik Aleph, and we will be learning today Daf Samach Aleph Amud Aleph. We're going to have a bit of an abbreviated share, and I'll have a little bit of an announcement at the end of the share of how I would like to handle the coming pages, which is the Chavetz Chaim's, what he calls his kuntris, Mishnah Seifrim, where he goes through the Aleph Beis, one letter at a time, discussing the proper construction and formation of each letter. And at the beginning, he gives the klalim of Shaloi Kisidron and of Chak Teichos. But first, let's just complete Siman Lamed Vav. So, we learned yesterday Sif Gimel, which begins on the bottom of Samach Amud Beis. I'm just going to read from the beginning of Sif Gimel in the Mechaber for the sake of continuity. So the Mechaber said, Sarch l'tayeg shatnez gates. We have to apply tagin. We have to apply these three-pronged crowns to the tops of the letters of shatnez gates. And we discussed those crowns. Yesterday, we spoke about two shitas of what those crowns look like. According to one shita, there's on the leftmost roish of the letters. So for instance, in the letter shin, you would go to the top of the leftmost yud of the shin. You would make one tag on its right edge, and it would branch out to the right. One tag on the leftmost edge, and it would branch out to the left. One tag in the middle going straight up. The second shita is that on the middle of the roish of the leftmost roish, but on the middle of the roish, you just have three tagin going straight up, with the middle one being higher, and each one of them looks like a tiny little zayin. It's not just a line; it has a roish and a regel, so it kind of looks like a zayin. And the Chavetz Chaim says that is the minig that we follow. In any case, now the Mechaber continues and he says, the Seifrim have a minig to apply tagin to some other letters as well. But if you do not apply tagin even to the letters of Shatnez gates, it is the opinion of the Mechaber. He says over here that in his opinion, loy pasal, the lack of the tagin to Shatnez gates does not pasal the Tefillin. Now we pick up in the Mishnah Berurah here on Samach Aleph Amud Aleph. Mishnah Berurah is cut in Tes Vav. Loi pasal. It's the opinion of the Mechaber that the lack of tagin does not pasal. V'habach paisel bazeh. However, the Bach says that if you're missing the tagin, it's pasal. V'gam haGra b'Berurah miyashev l'chalachas min hashitos, and the Gra goes through the various shitos over here. Umevi harbe paiskim de machmirin bazeh. And he brings down many other paiskin that also paskin like the Bach, and they hold that the lack of tagin would be a psul. Al kain, therefore, me'anachain, it would be me'anachain ma'oid. It would be very proper lachosh lazeh to be concerned for these shitas, or lesakneim acharkach. And if you are missing tagin, then the sefer should go back later and he should apply tagin to the letters that are missing tagin. Now you might ask, wait a second, is that okay? Could you go back and apply missing tagin? Or does that create an issue of Shaloi Kisidron? If you wrote the shin of Shema without a tag, and then you finished the word Shema, can you go back and put a tag on the shin? Or is that a problem of Shaloi Kisidron? Says the Mishnah Berurah, no. V'tikun mahani afilu b'tfilin u'mezuzos. The tikun, to go back and fix the letters that are missing the tagin by applying tagin, that's okay even by tefillin and mezuzos, which have to be written kisidron. V'lai hevi bazeh shaloi kisidron. There is no issue here of them being written shaloi kisidron. This does not constitute writing the tefillin shaloi kisidron. Why? The baloya tagin, because even if the letters are missing the tagin completely, the baloya tagin, without the tagin, nami tsurasa aleha, the ois still has its complete tsura. The tag is kind of like a decoration to the letter. It's not an integral part of the letter. So if the tag is missing from a shin, we don't say that the tsura of the shin is missing. No, the ikar tsura of the shin is there. it's missing the decorative tag. But that's not a problem with Shaloi Kisidron. The shin was written in proper order. Now we'll go back and we'll apply the shin. V'datli, and you should know furthermore, the ha'mechaber mayri she'asa roisha ois lamayla kitikuna. When the mechaber says that without the tagin the ois is kosher, he's speaking about a case where you made the rest of the ois properly. So let's say you're making a shin. You made a perfect shin, and the leftmost roish, the leftmost yud at the top of the shin was formed properly. It's only the tag that's missing. Achshachisar atagin she'olav. Aval im asa lamayla roisha ogol gamkein. But let's say the yud at the top of the shin, not only did you not make the tag, but you didn't make it like a top of a zayin or a yud. You made it round. Mashma me'abes Yosef de'ein lahakal afilu b'di'eved lefi pirish hareim. He says that for sure, according to the shiter of the Yereim, if you applied like a rounded top to one of the legs, not legs, to one of the tops of the shin, if the top is round, or an ayin, or any of these letters, if you made the top round, that would be possible. You see, this question, this requirement that the top of the letter should not be round and it has to be squared off. Let's go back a drop. There's a Gemara, I believe it's Gemara in Menachos, where the Gemara says, Rava says that the tops of the letters have to be made like Zainin. Now there's a major machlokes Rishonim what that means. Some Rishonim, like the Rabbeinu Tam, they hold that means that's a reference to the tagin. We said that the tagin have to look like little Zayins. That's what Rava means. Rava says there are Sheva Oisiyos, there are 7 letters, those are the letters of Shatnez Gats, where the tops have to be made like 3 Zainin. The sheet of the Rishonim that hold that the tagin are necessary, they hold that Rav is speaking about the tagin. The tagin are 3 little zainin. The Rambam seems to also agree that it's referring to the tagin, but the Rambam holds that the tagin are only necessary l'chatchila, they're not ma'akiv. The Yereim holds that Rav is not referring to the tagin at all. When Rav says that there are 7 letters with a Russian, the tops have to be made like zainin, he's referring to the top of the letter itself. That when you make a shin, and we'll grab a piece of paper over here again, the Yereim holds that what Rava means is that when you make a shin, according to the Yereim, what Rava means is that when you make a shin, camera, okay, wake up camera, take over, focus, it's got to be, the tops of the shin have to be squared. Okay, I had it for a second. There we go. The tops of the shin have to be squared off like this, not round like this. And tagin, the Yereim doesn't think Rav is talking about tagin at all. So Rambam yesh l'akol b'chol gavni. According to the Rambam, we don't have anywhere where it says that the tops of the letters necessarily have to be squared. And we don't have it in the Gemara that it has to be squared. So if the tops of the letters are round, you could be makel. And as far as the tagin, according to the Rambam, Rav is talking about the tagin, but the tagin are only lechatchila, so b'diavad we could be makel. Ayin b'bir agra de la Rambam la'yari agamar klal b'tefillin. And the Gra says even more. The Gra says that according to the Rambam, that Gemara is not talking about tefillin at all. Rak b'bezuzah. V'loy le'inyan igol v'hamshacha ach le'inyan tagin. And it's not talking about the question of whether the tops of the letters should be round or squared. It's only referring to the tagin for rak lechatchila, but the tagin are only necessary lechatchila. Kasav b'sefer yigeres hatil shatnez. This is fascinating. There's so much here in Tefillin that we don't even realize. Kasav b'sefer Igeres Atil. Shatnez hu oisiyoi satan az. Shatnez is made out of the letters that also form satan. Well, we know that is the satan, the Yetzer Hara, and also az, strong or brazen. Veheim shnei mekatrigim gedolim. And these are two malachim that are very great mekatrigim. They are very powerful prosecuting angels against Klal Yisrael. So Shatnez is oisiyoi satan az, veheim shnei mekatrigim gedolim, vezeu gam kein soid shel Shatnez gates. And this is the underlying root behind the tagin on the letters Shatnez gates. Ki gates gam kein shem mekatrig echad, because gates is also the name of a mekatreg, of a prosecutor. So Shatnez gates is the name of three mekatrigim. Va'tagin sha'aleim, and the crowns that we put on the oisiyos of Shatnez gates, heim k'may cherev v'chanis, they're like swords and spears against the mekatrigim of Shatnez gates, lihinotzel mehem, to protect ourselves from these mekatrigim. Okay, so that completes Samach Aleph Amud Aleph, and it completes Siman Lamed Vav. Now, I've been struggling over the last several days to decide how to handle the Mishnah Sofrim. If you take a look at the coming pages in the Mishnah Berurah, the Mishnah Sofrim, he goes through the letters one at a time. It's a lot of words on a page, and it's very detailed into the formation of the letters. Originally, I thought, well, it's part of the Mishnah Berurah, so we're going to go through it page by page, the same way we do the rest of the Mishnah Berurah. I've decided against it. What I've decided is I'm going to do like this. Mir Hashem, in the next chair, which Pashtus will be on Sunday, I'm recording this on Thursday afternoon, so Pashtus, the next chair will be Thursday. The next chair I'm going to pick up on Samach Hey Amud Aleph in the Shulchan Aruch Siman Lamed Zayin, Zman Hanachas Tefillin. At the same time as I'm doing that, I am going to work on recording shiurim on the Mishnah Sofrim, so there will be standalone shiurim. Anybody who wants to listen to them could certainly listen to them at his own, at your discretion, whenever you'd like. And what I'm going to try to do with the Mishnah Sofrim is, my thought process right now, I may not read every word of the Mishnah Sofrim. Instead, what I might do is I might make kind of a likut. I might pull out by each letter the ikrim of what the Chavetz Chaim says by each letter, and then present it that way. But the other thing that I'd like to do is I would like to go into a little bit of drush on each letter of the Aleph Beis, go through the letters of the Aleph Beis and what we could learn from the various letters of the Aleph Beis. So, in short, the next share of Yirtzeh Hashem will be on Samach Hey Amud Aleph. It will be on Siman Lamed Zayin. At the same time, keep your eyes open for recordings of shiurim that I will be giving on the Mishnah Sofrim. I don't know if you'll have one every day or not. We'll see how it goes. So with that, I'm going to conclude today's share. Everyone should have a wonderful Shabbos. Thank you so much for joining me for limud HaTorah. The schus of limud HaTorah should be making against Klal Yisrael. The Rebbeinu Shalom should send Yeshua's, Refuas, Parnas, and Shidduchim to all those in need. We should be zeichet to see the Biyaskal Tzedek B'mher V'Yameinu. Amen. Be well.